Hey guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, and I'm here with another re-review. So, the last one of these I did was on Drive-In Massacre, where I basically went back and I corrected myself on my opinion of that film. Today's re-review is of a film that my opinion on it hasn't changed too much, but I just want to correct a few things about it. So, here we go. The movie I'm talking about is a film I reviewed in 2016 called Belladonna of Sadness. It is also one of my favorite animated movies. I'd probably say it's my favorite anime film ever made. Belladonna of Sadness is a film I discovered not too long after seeing movies like Pink Floyd's The Wall, and The Holy Mountain, and Eraserhead. These movies really were the first defining films that made me realize that this is art. Film is an art. I really loved how specifically The Wall told a story without without much plot, and instead used a series of surreal moments, and also how it incorporated amazing prog rock into it. That film led me down a path with a new appreciation for film, and it led to me discovering some of my all-time favorite movies like Naked Lunch, Love Exposure, the previously mentioned Eraserhead, The Holy Mountain, Brazil, etc. After seeing the restoration trailer for Belladonna of Sadness when I went to go see the Green Room at my local art house theater, I knew I had to seek out the film, and I found a bootleg copy online that was a VHS rip. It was traded around as like a pornographic film, apparently, and it was absolutely cut to shit. Scenes were out of order, which in my original review I even said that, like, oh man, it starts with the ending of the film, which is really anticlimactic because then you already know how the story ends, which is not how the film actually works. I just assumed that it was the surreal nature of the film on display. Years passed and I really didn't see the actual restoration for about 3 or 4 years, and then I catch it on a streaming service when I'm looking for a decent time killer, and I watch a very different but way more tangible film that day. Since then, my love and appreciation for this film has grown to monumental amounts. Belladonna of Sadness is not a normal film. It is extremely artistic, colorful, disturbing, meaningful, surreal, and beautiful. The film's basically a feminist retelling of witch folklore from the 17th century, but in Japanese, and done with very beautiful hand-drawn animation. The film is about a peasant woman in a version of medieval Europe who is assaulted by the local lords and then makes a pact with Satan in exchange for fame and fortune. The lord and lady of the land overthrow her, and she is driven out of her village, labeled a witch. This leads to Jean, and the main character Jean, and the viewer down this winding road of beautiful hand-drawn animation, watercolor frame by frames, and an amazing original prog rock soundtrack. Seriously, I've been looking for the vinyl of this soundtrack for the longest fucking time, but it's out of print as hell. The film could be called style over substance, but I kind of see this as a very nice blending of the two. It's definitely very, very stylish, but to quote Roger Ebert, they say it's style over substance, but man, what style it has. The film isn't perfect necessarily, but I just absolutely love the style and the entire vibe the film gives off. Even if some of the voice acting isn't perfect, or the style its style is a bit off-putting to some, or the plot isn't super fleshed out. This film was more made to be a interesting art piece than it is to be, a film that most normal people will appreciate. It's a piece of art, and it's really just an amazing film. I absolutely fucking love this movie. Every frame is beautiful, and it feels like a medieval set manga on acid. It's like King Crimson, Shion Sono, and collaborate, and like, oh my fucking god, I'm messing up my own script here. Um, it's like Shion Sono and King Crimson collaborated on an animated film with the director of Midori. And Belladonna is, in my opinion, a cornerstone of Japanese cult animation. Not just a cornerstone of Japanese cult animation, but a cornerstone of cult film in general, I think. And probably one of the greatest non-Western folk horror films. It's also one of the best non-traditional folk horror films because it has a fucking prog rock soundtrack. I'd also like to take the time for a quick tangent. Um, I think we should start doing new soundtracks to weird movies that are done by bands like Blood Ceremony, Ghost, Electric Wizard, The Flower Traveling Band, or Jess and the Ancient Ones, because I would love to see weird, dark, stoner slash doom metal scores to movies like Belladonna of Sadness, Metropolis, Morgiana, Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, even to like Haxan or, you know, or Faust or The Man Who Laughs. I would love to see, you know, original kind of stoner doom metal soundtracks to those films. Um, but that's it. That is the re-review, and I don't know if I'm gonna label this one as a re-review or if I'm gonna do it as my favorite anime film. Um, so we'll figure that one out on the cutting room floor. Uh, Either way, my final rating for this one is like a 4.5, anywhere from a 4 to a 4.5 out of 5. This film is legitimately an amazing work of art, and I highly recommend it, especially if weird kind of animated movies are your thing. If you like films like the films of Ralph Bakshi, for example, this is definitely one to seek out. Even if you're not too into anime, this is very non-traditional anime. Um, but that's it. That's the video. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews signing off. Peace.